Good morning, everyone. So this is my video series where I have started. So many of my mentees and friends have requested me to come on the video or YouTube platform and talk about my data science experience because uh, I have been contributing since the last 2 years in LinkedIn, and many of my posts have really helped my mentees and my friends and the connections that are there. So I wanted to talk today about the IDE concept for programming. And what's happening is there's a lot of confusion. Which idea should you stick on to? So I would like to talk and help you make your decision. So from my experience, back in 2006 when I started the data science, when I was working in Hewlett Packard. So what happened is there was a project in which the program that was being used was SAS, and back there was only a base SAS license that we had, and started learning how to use base SAS, reading the data sets, and building the particular report. So there were a lot of trainings for SAS in our company where we learned how to use. So there was only one particular language, and there was a lot of training materials from SAS itself, which taught us the different procedures for everything. And before that, I was also using SQL for my different projects, and I had little familiarity with SQL. So there was a procedure called proc SQL, which I really started using a lot for all my data merging needs and all those things. So that is how I started for SAS. Then later on, when I moved to different companies, R was got introduced in the market, and for R, as you know, there was only mainly a IDE called Rstudio that was available, and there were a lot of materials that really helped us using Rstudio. So the main skill that I took on from a programming from SAS, other than the other procedures and the parameters and the functions, were the SQL. So in RStudio also there is a SQLDF package that we called, and I used that very fairly. I adapted to it very easily. Little bit of time I gave in the IDE, and I became a little bit confident, and then I started my R journey. Later on, in Accenture itself, there were some projects in Python. And I was a little bit skeptical to move to Python in the start, but as more and more projects and industries and the demands were really coming up for Python, what happened is I started understanding Python, the main data structures that are there, the packages. So main packages that we really need to know in Python for data science specifically is pandas. That's for data frame manipulation and all the similar things that is really required for any structured data, and NumPy, that is for the numerical transitions of that particular data. And then after that, scikit-learn for the machine learning piece, as well as then the matplot for all the visualization, like matplot and cbon. So these are the things that we started picking up. And now for the ID, so I was looking for something similar to RStudio. There was the two options mainly for me at that time. One was Jupyter Notebooks, which was a little bit new concept for me, and I was not very comfortable because of the markdown cell and the no proper display of the data. So I chose Spyder, which was a little bit similar to RStudio, and it was really easy for me to start doing coding in Spyder. And then I really I started hands-on Python in that, and I got a little bit comfortable. And then according to the different projects, different IDs, I started exploring, but mainly it is these two that I have been comfortable using. But there, as you know, there are a lot of options that is keeps coming up. Some of my colleagues say, "Why don't you use Jupyter Lab? Why don't you use PyCharm?" Uh, it is, but the thing is, yeah. You have to be comfortable in one particular ID so that you can mainly understand what is the business requirement, get that logic that has to be written in, break down the logic into small steps and do it in any of the IDs in which you're comfortable in. That is what I am advising to my all my mentees and people who are listening to me. Is that is the main thing. IDs may help you little bit to get comfortable, but you can't keep switching IDs. Like one project you do it in Jupyter Notebook, then another project you do it in Spider, another project you do in Jupyter Lab. So you will not be comfortable, and your quick quickness will not be there. Like right now, if you tell me to do anything in Rstudio or base SAS, I know it very. I have been doing it, so I know it very well. S- But if you don't use one particular ID for many of the projects, you don't become comfortable with it, and you're not willing to be speed at it, because in real work in the environment there are requirements in which you have to give inputs, your inputs and outputs very quickly, and you don't have the ratio to spend time and familiarize yourself with new things and then do it. So this is my advice and my insights of it from my experience about the IDs that are there. Yeah. So thanks for it. And this particular video series that I have started, I will keep posting it. I really need your encouragement and your support. If whatever free time that I get from a busy schedule, I will try to post a per video in particular concept and logic that is going to help my community. Thanks a lot for watching and have a great day. Thank you.